Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Friday, March 27, 2026. Let's take a look what's going on the economic calendar for today. So this is the economic calendar with the medium and most important data releases. Core retail sales and retail sales data from the UK beats the expectations. As you can see, bunch of very good data from the UK. We are still waiting for the speech of the ECB Supervisory Board member Turminen. This is at 8:45. At 9 o'clock we got data from Spain, Spanish CPI and HICP. Eurogroup meeting starts at 11 o'clock. Then we switch straight on to the US session. We got wholesale sales from Canada scheduled for release at 1:30, together with retail inventories excluding autos from USA, Michigan 1-year inflation expectations, 5-year inflation expectations, consumer expectations and consumer sentiment. All of this data are scheduled for release at 3 o'clock. FOMC member Daly will give a speech at 4:30 and ECB Schnabel will give a speech at 5 o'clock. US Barker Hughes oil recount and total recount are scheduled for release at, as usual, at 6 p.m. And that's about it. This situation is definitely worth seeing all the day, and it looks like there is no very important, high important data for today. Nevertheless, it's good to take a look at the chart. So we start with this part of the analysis. We switch to the charts. We start with euro dollar. Euro dollar for our time frame chart is testing yesterday's lows roughly around 1.1520. Any breakout lower would be confirmed if there is breakout below the trend line and candle close below the trend line. This is the blue trend line. Let me just change it to black. There you go. There is another gap here and another zone here located between 1.1489 1.1499. So if we get there, we might see a little bit of the bounce and then straight down towards 1.1470 1.1451. So that situation here looks quite bearish right now. Please notice we have completed 5 waves to the upside, 5 waves to the downside, and this corrective cycle looks like it is starting to be quite exhausted, especially if the RSI is getting towards the level of 40, now 41 points only. So any breakout lower would expand the RSI towards the extremely oversold conditions, and of course there's plenty of room to the downside as well, which is in line with our main scenario saying that the euro dollar is in the downswing, basically, right? It's in the downswing and might be continuing this downswing anytime soon. British pound is roughly the same as the euro dollar in terms of the price action. We broke above the trend line, then we never hold it because the previous local swing high, let me just move this one. There you go. The previous local swing high of the wave 4 located roughly around 1.5482 has been tested and rejected. You can clearly see the supply zone here, and as you can see, we went lower. Now we are about to break below the trend line, test the trend line, break it, and then of course the test of 1.5250 is next in the books. Any breakout lower and the weekly low is next for a test, and 2 weeks low apparently is next for a test. Momentum negative 41 points, exactly as it is on the euro dollar, so that's the same situation. And finally, US dollar versus the Japanese yen is testing the previous high, and it is 2 pips away from the level of 160. There is still plenty of room to the upside. There is still plenty of room to the upside here. It looks like the market might want to move way higher than it is right now. So very interesting situation here is being developed. If we take a look at the daily, you can see there is still an unfilled gap here, way lower. Nevertheless, it looks like the market still wants to make up pressure on the current situation, get as much as it can from the current situation, as the bulls are still pushing on the bears. Gold market is back below the local trend line, is back below the technical resistance 4,500. Let me just remove this level here and apply it to the newest one, to the newest level, because there you go, this is the current situation here. 4,600 is new swing high, and now the market keeps moving lower. Momentum is still quite negative, 45 points only, so it doesn't actually support the movement to the upside. Nevertheless, we need this breakout in order to confirm the downside movement. So for now, it looks like bears are in charge of this market. ABC to the downside is completed. Let me just take a look here on that situation. ABC to the downside looks completed, and we should see that current situation as a corrective. Potentially it is done, and now the market might be ready to move higher if ABC is enough for the market to continue, right? Remember, this corrective cycle might evolve into more complex and time-consuming one. S&P 500 narrowing the weekly low, 6,431. Clear bearish pressure, clear bearish structure here. No sign of any reversal to the upside, just as expected. Crude oil keeps moving higher. It used to be my quite nice zone here. Let me just place this zone for you guys. This zone was located roughly around the level of 101. So that was something like this. Okay, so that was the zone roughly, and the market is right now trying to move back inside of this zone. So local technical support 84.45. Nevertheless, that situation here still looks quite bullish. With that kind of a momentum, 57 points, we might see way stronger movements quite soon on crude oil. And last but not least, the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin doesn't do much these days. Right now it is testing this trend line here. Let me just zoom out for you to see what I mean. We got first bounce from the trend line, second bounce from the trend line, third bounce from the trend line. So market sees the trend line, market recognize the trend line. We are currently locked inside of this very narrow range, and technical objects like trend line and moving average is working right now. So the market is technical, and it looks like we might see some sort of the movement to the upside quite soon if this trend line holds the bearish pressure. Next target, it's obviously weekly high, $72,026, but the momentum doesn't actually help this for this scenario. Only 41 points, so it's quite negative, and there's still room to the downside here. Nevertheless, it's worth to see the current situation as a potential for the upside. Any breakout below the trend line and then below 67,502, it will be considered more bearish in the short term. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. So take care and bye bye.